Welcome everyone. So it's official, it's time to start the lean bulk. Now the maintaining phase is officially over, because let me explain. I started a 2 or 3 week long cut. I got to this body fat percentage. Let me show you. And then I did like 1 week long maintenance phase where I just ate like I just tried to not be hungry, and I also didn't war my calories like too much, but also I didn't force feed myself like extra meals. So I just went by my hunger, basically by feel. Let me explain more. Let's get into more detail. So usually if I feel hungry, that's when I'm going to eat. If I'm not hungry, I'll keep fasting. And that for me makes a lot of sense, because my hunger can actually tell me when it's time to eat. And that usually doesn't happen when I'm really on a serious bulk, because on a very serious bulk, if I keep it lean, if I keep the bulk very clean, meaning I only eat like very healthy foods, high in fiber, high in protein, healthy fats, healthy carbs, keep my protein very high, keep my fats low, keep my high fiber carbs very high, like broccoli, spinach, tomatoes, different fruits and veggies basically. If I keep eating these foods, I'm not hungry, and it makes sense. So if I have to do like a lean bulk, a proper bulk, and I eat these foods, I have to force feed myself, right? And on my maintenance phase, I didn't force feed myself. I told you that I was bulking, but it's official now. Today's day number 1, and I'm starting. So let me talk more about my diet and my training program that I'll be doing. And also, everything's going to change on a weekly basis. My training program is going to change on a weekly basis. Everything's going to change. My diet is going to change. Like, I'm going to make small adjustments every single week, even day to day. It depends on how I feel. Am I recovered enough? Is my chest recovered? If yes, I can do more. If not, I might replace my chest trainer with something else, right? If that makes sense. So let's talk about my diet first, then we're going to move on to my training. So my diet, I'm not going to count calories. I'm serious, I'm not going to count calories like too much. Like, I don't want to focus too much on my calories, because calories are very like dynamic. So one day you might be gaining on 3000 calories, another day you might be losing weight on 3000 calories, right? So I don't really care too much about calories. Let's care about the stuff that makes sense. Instead, I'm going to count meals. I'm going to count meals. Now, for the first week, I'll probably do 3 meals, right? 3 to 4 meals, it depends. Again, I'm going to go by feel, but I'm going to eat a little bit more. Now, I'm not going to force feed too many calories at first, too much food, just to make sure that I don't gain too much weight very fast. So what I'm going to do, let me explain my food selection now. For the protein, I'll be eating chicken breast, white chicken breast, because it's very low in fat, very high in fiber, and the fats are all healthy, and I need that very high quality protein source, and the chicken breast is just that, a very high quality protein source. Because the animal proteins, they're very easy to digest by the body, and they have like complete amino acid profile, very complete proteins. That's what we need to stimulate a lot of muscle growth. So this is going to be one of my main protein sources, the chicken breast. Also, the second protein source is going to be the zero fat yogurt. Again, a great source of protein. Again, complete proteins, complete amino acid profile, all the essential amino acids. very high quality proteins, and again I'm trying to keep it very clean, so I always go for like low fat options, so I completely eliminate the fats. Now there's a little bit of fat, but it's like very small amounts that I don't really care about. Again, very good protein source. Now these are going to be my main two protein sources. Now the protein powder I'm probably going to use like occasionally, not every day, like the chicken breast or the zero fat oil that I'll probably eat every single day. The protein powder I'll probably consume like once a week with my oats maybe. So now let's move on to my carb sources, the carbs. Now this is going to be my main calorie source. Why? Well, because bulking on protein is very inefficient and it's not optimal. Now to make the lean bulk very optimal, you need a lot of carbs. Why? Well, let me explain why. Now carbs, they're going to fuel your muscles with a lot of glycogen, a lot of water, like in the muscle, so they're going to pop more, so you're going to have that bigger, more muscular look that you want. If you neglect carbs, you might gain more fat because you have to rely on fats to get your calories, right? Fats, they turn very easily into body fat. Carbs, not so much. And carbs, they're a very good energy source because we just use the glucose for everything, like for our weight lifting. We use the carbs, so that's what we need for energy, for our workouts, for muscle building. So what are my main carb sources? Well, first is going to be white potatoes. They're very they taste very good, very low in calories. That's a big thing in my program, that I always go for the lower calorie carb sources because I can eat more, stay just as lean, and just gain all muscle. That's what we need. And it's a very healthy food full of vitamins and minerals. And we need like a lot of antioxidants to actually improve recovery. Now, the other carb sources are going to be brown rice, lentils, beans. I'm not going to be eating beans because they're too high in fiber. They cause like a lot of digestion issues personally for me. Lentils, not really. So I can combine brown rice with lentils. And also lentils, they're also a very good protein source. Very high in fiber, very healthy. Again, high fiber is going to be very helpful because the fiber is something very healthy and actually is going to increase your energy expenditure. Your body requires more energy to break down the fiber, so you can eat more and stay leaner. So it doesn't really make sense, right? Why more food is going to make me leaner? Well, because you eat more, you're not hungry, but at the same time your body has to use a lot of energy to break down all of the food and all of the fiber, if that makes sense. Brown rice, again, lower in fiber but very delicious. And I'm going to cook everything with just a little bit of salt, no fats added. I want to keep everything as lean as I can, so no extra fats added. Also, the brown rice is going to have it has some healthy fats, and we're after the unsaturated fats. They actually help with losing body fat, but if you eat too much fats, they're very caloric, they have a lot of calories, and it actually leads to weight gain. Right? If you're not really familiar with controlling calories and portion control, you might turn into problems with weight gain if you just overeat the healthy fats. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean that you're not going to gain weight, if that makes sense. Now, white rice I will be eating too, but not so much. I'm really going to focus on potatoes first. On my first week, I'll be eating a lot of chicken breast with potatoes and broccoli, and also a bunch of fruits like apples and bananas. A great choice of carbs. So yeah, apples, bananas, different fruits to fill me up, get some great energy. They're very healthy. I care about my health and just staying very lean, gaining all muscle. So let me talk about the vegetables first before I move on to my healthy fats. Now, the vegetables, they're going to be very important because they're, first of all, very low in calories. That's what we need. Second, very healthy. Lots of vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, vitamin E, like so many different vitamins and minerals. Also, they have like a lot of antioxidants that are really going to improve recovery. When we improve recovery, we improve muscle growth because we recover faster, we can train harder, and when we recover faster, we can actually increase our training frequency. This actually can help with muscle soreness. So if you're not eating enough vegetables, you're making a big mistake. So make sure that you eat enough veggies like broccoli, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever. Just see them and make sure that you eat a lot of them. They're really going to help you keep that bulk very clean. So let's move on to the healthy fats now. Like I already said, I will keep the fats fairly low. I don't have like an exact number in mind, but I'll try to keep them very low. And actually, when I eat healthy fats, they're going to be from chicken breast, brown rice, oats. Yeah, I forgot about the oats. They're going to be one of my carb sources too. So oats, brown rice, chicken breast, and sunflower seeds and different seeds and nuts. But again, most of my fats are going to be from oats, chicken breast, and which one was brown rice? Yeah, brown rice. So yeah, these are my macronutrient breakdown. The calories I already told you, I'm not going to count them, but approximately like 3000 calories. On my first week I'll be eating 3000 calories up to 3200 calories. Again, I'll be eating a lot of white potatoes, a lot of chicken breast, a lot of zero fat yogurt, a bunch of fruits like apples and bananas. Also lots of broccoli, spinach, just to help with recovery. Also, yeah, that's all about the diet. Now let's talk about my training. So here's what I'll be doing. I want to prioritize certain muscle groups like my chest, for example. So chest requires a lot more work compared to other muscle groups. So I'm going to prioritize chest training. So here's what I will be doing. On week number 1, I'll be training my chest 2 to 3 times a week. So I'm going to have like 2 of these 3 workouts are going to be heavier. So I'll be training harder, meaning I'm going to take my sets very close to failure. I'll be in that 8 to 12 rep range, just really focus on lifting heavy weights for sets of 10 reps. And on my so 2 of these days are going to be like very hypertrophy oriented workouts, and the remaining 1 chest workout is going to be like an active recovery training basically. Just get a pump, go through the motions with very good form, get a pump, do a few sets, just pump, just do a bunch of very high reps with lighter weights, get a pump. Active recovery is going to help with my recovery. It's going to drive more nutrients, and just when you drive nutrients into the muscles, it really helps with recovery. Now, I don't recommend that to everyone, right? This increased training frequency I only recommend for advanced lifters. I'm already advanced, so you have to think what you're doing. If you actually want me to be your online personal trainer, you can contact me on my email that I'm going to leave down in the description down below. Contact me. I also offer custom training programs and online chat or video consultations. Now, I will be focusing on the flat bench, the medium grip flat bench a lot. So the medium grip flat bench is really like the best flat bench press variation for building that big chest. I also be doing a lot of just pause bench pressing with a medium grip. And here's something that I'm going to do. I'll be rotating my grips like on each set, but just keep it like very medium grip focused. bench press variations. So the other muscle groups, I'm going to talk about them, but basically it's going to be biceps and triceps. They're going to get like 2 to 3 times a week. They're going to be trained twice or 3 times a week too. Back, again, a weak point for me, probably 2 to 3 times too. Shoulders, they're probably going to stay like twice a week at most. Abs, probably twice a week too. Legs, twice a week. What else am I missing? Well, yeah, that's everything. About my exercise selection, you're going to see when I actually start training. I'm going to explain everything in detail, what I'm actually doing, why I picked these certain exercises, and why I picked this rep range, why I picked this range of motion, training frequency, rep range, everything I'm going to explain into detail. So yeah, let's move on to the first meal. And it's time for my first meal for the day, which is going to be 1 kilogram of zero fat yogurt and a few bananas that I'm going to eat. Right now, let me show you. It's called Skyr. Basically it has like, the total amount of calories are going to be 620 calories, 110 grams of protein, 2 grams of fats and 40 grams of carbs. Very good stuff. Let me show you. Very good. So yeah, low fat dairy is going to be like a big thing in my diet. It has always been, I'm a big fan of the yogurt. It also just helps so much with the muscle protein synthesis, so I'll be eating that. And a few bananas, let me show you. Basically 4 bananas. I have no idea about the calories. I have no idea about the macros, so I'm sorry about that, but you get the idea. We start the day with a ton of protein, 110 grams of protein and healthy carbs to give us the energy. So I recommend like a lighter breakfast, a lot of protein, less carbs, it's not so heavy. And it's a very good breakfast basically. I'm also cooking some chicken breast at the moment. I'm going to add the white potatoes soon and some broccoli that I want to show you later today. So keep watching. I'm just going to finish with my meal and see you very soon. And now my second meal, let me just show you. So I have a few white potatoes, broccoli and chicken breast. A great lean bulking combination. Now my diet might be kind of boring, but it's very effective. But why is it so effective? Well, because it works. The chicken breast, very high quality protein, low in fat, very hard to overeat, and even if you do, you gain a ton of muscle, you lose a lot of body fat. White potatoes. A great carb source. It's delicious. It's rich in vitamin C, and the broccoli, they're like the real deal in that combination. They're like a superfood.
They have a lot of vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin E. I believe they also have like fiber. Great for your health. You can't go wrong if you eat like a few pounds of broccoli every single day. Like most people that actually lose a lot of weight, they actually eat a lot of broccoli. Helps with the appetite. So think about that. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying this video so far. So yeah, my diet might be a little bit boring, but it's very effective. Very effective, and to be honest, when you stop eating junk food, you get very sensitive to the very simple food cooked with only a bunch of salt in water, in salted water. The only thing that I used to make them taste better, the chicken breast, broccoli and white potatoes, a bunch of salt. Simple. And I like it. I really like my food. I'm enjoying it. If you eat this, you're never going to be hungry. I probably have some more. I'll be honest, I probably have some more. Potatoes, one of my favorites, full time. About the macros, I don't know, I just cook like a kilogram, that's over 2 pounds of white potatoes. 2 kilograms, that's over 4 pounds of chicken breast. And 2 pounds of broccoli. So a lot of food. But you see how simple it is. It's not something fancy, but it doesn't have to be. To be honest, I don't really enjoy the junk food so much. You have to be very hungry. And I prefer this. Just great. I'm actually enjoying just recording that, eating. Yeah. I'll be right back. Let me eat some more. But you know what? See you in the next meal. Probably have the same meal, to be honest. Today I'm training chest. So my chest is one of my weak wagging muscle groups, and let me explain how I'm going to actually prioritize my chest and improve it, make it grow. So in a week I plan on training my chest 2 to 3 times a week. Let me explain, let me get into more detail. Now I'll have two heavy workouts. meaning I'm going to make sure that I take off my sets very close to failure. I'll be using a reasonable weight to be in that 8 to 10 rep range, even 8 to 12 rep range, but it's mostly going to be 10 rep sets. And I'll be training very close to failure, probably using my 11 rep max or 12 rep max. I'll be doing 3 to 5 sets. Now it depends on my exercise selection. If I only decide to stick to the flat bench, I'll probably do 5 to 6 sets. If I decide to add a second movement, like chest flies or something, I'm going to do 3 to 4 sets of each exercise. Now, one of the workouts, I already mentioned 2 heavy workouts. One of the workouts, basically 3 total workouts, 2 of them are going to be heavy, and one of them is going to be something like an active recovery training for my chest. Basically what I will be doing is just get a pump, go through the motions, using a lighter weight for very high reps just to get a pump, help with recovery and all that good stuff. Now I'm going to show you one warm-up set, and then I'm going to jump into my work sets with 95 kilograms. Very important to warm up the chest before that, improve my muscle connection and just my form. And I always feel like more confident when I'm warmed up with a lighter weight first. Okay, I feel warmed up. Time to jump into my work sets. Now let me give you some tips before I start with my set. To really engage the chest as much as you can and really focus on the chest, make sure that you use like a medium grip, not very wide and not very narrow grip. Because if you go like ultra wide, it's mostly your shoulders, and if you go like very narrow, it's more triceps slash chest. The chest is still being worked, but if you want like optimal muscle engagement of the chest, optimal muscle fiber recursion, like recruit of the muscle fibers, you need the medium grip. Now it can be pinkies, underrings, like just try to be not too wide if you get the idea. You can also tie like shoulder width grip. Also use a flat back unless you have like very long arms, and if you have like very long arms, if it's not like painful, do the exercise with a flat back to really engage the chest. Do a very long range of motion, that's going to be like very important. Also pause on your chest for like half a second or a second to really completely eliminate momentum. That's going to make your chest work even harder. That's going to be key here. Also try to use no leg drive. We're trying to isolate the chest as much as we can, make it grow. Let's start with the set. Try to be in full control of the movement, pick the right weight, lower the weight if you have to. Now I'm going to be slightly wider than pinky sounding, but I always like rotate my grip on each set. Then clean reps with good form. Okay, third meal. Again, is the same. Chicken breast, potatoes and broccoli. To be honest, I was hungry for this meal. I was very hungry. And I get to enjoy my meal now. So yeah, a great food selection for lean bulking. Like, there's no way to gain fat on this. No way. You have to eat so much. I mean, some people might be able to do that, but I don't know who. For the hard gainers, I would say it depends on your body fat percentage, but just be more mindful of your meals. Make sure that you try to eat, or if you're lean, try to eat. You might get distracted with something else and forget to eat. That's fine. But make sure that you eat and eat more when you get stuck. Like, there are no magical tricks. And now for the hard gainers that are higher in body fat percentage, like skinny fat or less, do a cut first. Do a cut. The reason why this might actually work is because when you're leaner, your appetite is going to go up. And that's for it. Try to maintain that body fat percentage for the full bulk. Just to make sure that you're going to maintain that hunger levels all the time. It's going to be something very helpful, and yeah, just make bulking easier. It's going to be very fun. To be honest, I'm no longer a hard gainer. I used to be, not anymore. But I figured out that food is going to make like a big difference in my physique. When I gain muscle, when I eat right, I look my best. Like, it's not all about weight gain. When you're trying to bulk with junk, you're gaining a lot of body fat. It's not just about the calories. It's just easier to get a lot of calories, but not really improving recovery and all that good stuff. Or not even getting enough protein. So making it very hard on yourself to gain muscle. Everyone's talking about gain weight, eat more, gain weight during the hard gainer, the weight gainer shakes. Forget about that. It's not just calories and weight gain. Probably gaining too fast anyway. Slow down. Slow down, you're going to thank me.